Good morning, Apple Valley, and welcome to this edition of EaglEye Live. I'm Benjamin Perez.
And I'm Haley Jensen. Today on our show, we will look into what you can do to prevent theft around the school and check into some numbers that represent the Valley.
We'll also play around with a wacky experiment. But first, let's take a look at next year's budget cuts. Here's Travis with the story.
Many things we take for granted at AVHS may not be available next year due to the upcoming budget cuts.
The school systems are being caught with the economy being very poor right now. So we knew this was coming. It's a little bigger reductions than we thought, and we hope it's a temporary thing and we begin to pull ourselves out in the next year or two.
With these types of cuts, how will AVHS be affected?
I think from the kids' perspective, you're going to notice more desks and more tables in classrooms.
If classroom sizes get bigger, it's going to be a lot harder to learn for a lot of people, because if they're in the back, it's like harder to see and hear, and then like with the people who like need more help, they won't be able to get that help as much from the teacher.
Athletic fees and co-curricular fees are going up in both the athletic and arts areas. Athletic fees are going to go up between $50 and $75 per season, and we'll begin charging for all the arts and activities fees that kids do.
Since I'm in tennis and Broadway, and then with that fees, it already like gets kind of spendy, and then adding more fees onto that, there's probably going to be a lot of kids that can't do what the sport they want anymore because they can't afford it.
Reporting for EaglEye, I'm Travis Melander.
Thanks, Travis. It's distressing to know that those budget cuts are affecting so many people.
I'll tell you what's not distressing, though, not being here when that happens.
Oh, don't worry, Ben. You'll have plenty to worry about in college.
Yeah, those costs of college will be a budget cut indeed.
Since we're talking numbers, let's take a look at some of the numbers associated with Apple Valley High School. Those are some pretty impressive numbers. Adding to those numbers is the robotics team with their state title. They're heading to nationals in Atlanta next week.
Lockers, backpacks, and friends are all part of the school experience. But these three don't mix well with valuables like iPods and cell phones. Here's Alexa with some tips to prevent thefts of these items.
Whenever you choose to bring your iPod or cell phone to school, there is always that risk factor. Theft at AVHS has become a problem, and more items get stolen every day.
Theft is a problem at all schools. Apple Valley High School has a theft issue.
Last year I had my iPod in my backpack, and I set it down in the morning because I was going to go talk to my friends, and when I came back to take it to class, it was stolen.
The most common ways to get your valuables stolen are giving it to someone to borrow and leaving it in your backpack unattended.
The best thing would be to never take anything of value to the locker rooms. Most of our items are stolen. Probably about 90% of our theft occurs either in the boys' or the girls' locker room.
Well, I gave my iPod to my friend, and she went to the locker room, and it got stolen there.
How I deal with it, if somebody's caught stealing, they get consequences from the school and also from the police department.
The best way to prevent theft is probably not bringing your valuables to school. I wouldn't recommend that. I do it, but it's not smart.
If you're willing to take that risk, be prepared to face the consequences. Reporting for EaglEye, I'm Alexa Hill.
Thanks, Alexa. Hopefully those reminders will help prevent disappointment.
You know, if theft happens to you, you might want to reach for a Mento.
I love Mentos. Just don't mix them with Diet Coke.
Let's see what happens.
Hi, I'm Maddie Berg, and welcome to EaglEye's Experiment of the Week. Today's subject is Kyle, and our science expert is Mr. Michaels.
Well, we're going to pour some Diet Coke into his mouth.
Here you go.
And then we're going to drop 3 Mentos in there, and hopefully it'll explode like a rabid volcano.
Oh!
This guy obviously has a drinking problem.
All right, so Mr. Michaels, what's happening here?
Yeah, actually the Mentos has a hard layer of sugar on it, and it's very dense. When the pop hits it, it starts to dissolve, and it just explodes out of his mouth.
Science is tasty. Thank you, Mr. Michaels, and that's our science experiment of the week.
Science rules.
Thanks, Maddie.
Yeah, good thing you guys were wearing goggles.
That's all for us, but before we go, members of Student Council created this video promoting their Haiti dance, and they wanted us to share it with you.
See you in 2 weeks for our next show.
Are you tired of going to the same hokey-pokey, jiminy-jaminy school dances? Are you fed up with spending hundreds of dollars on dresses? Are you sick to death with dancing with Jiho all night? Are you sick of being embarrassed because you're not cool enough to have a date to the dance? Got nothing to do on April 16th? Come to the Haiti Benefit Dance! Tickets are only $5. That's right, $5! So come to the Save the Children Benefit Dance. Save the Children Benefit Dance.